You're now watching Sports Bettor's Paradise on the Bet Rivers Network.
All right, Jimmy Ott and Paul Stone. Let's look at the Michigan teams. Michigan, Michigan State, Eastern Michigan, and Central Michigan. Western is off this week. But let's start off in the big house. And USC coming to town 2-0 after a bye, 2-0 against the spread. 5.5, 45.5. I liked Michigan earlier when we looked at the high-profile games, Paul, at plus 6.5. It's down to 5.5. Now, switch at quarterbacks, and, man, if the passing game is not producing a whole lot, but it's also creating a lot of turnovers. 3 interceptions against Arkansas State prompts the quarterback move a little bit more with the legs here. Michigan will try and get this game in the mud and try and slow it down a little bit and lean on their defense. I think Michigan can be competitive here. I'm not ready to anoint USC as being back just quite yet.
I'm with you. I mean, USC, they beat LSU in that neutral site opener in Las Vegas, a game that could have gone either way. But Michigan makes the quarterback change to Alex Orji. He's a runner, and he's going to run the football. I mean, I'd be surprised if he doesn't run 15 or 16 times against USC. Michigan rushed. It was Arkansas State, but rushed for 301 yards against the Red Wolves. Mullings had 153 yards, and Donovan Edwards added 82. So I think you're going to get a heavy dose of running here with Michigan. And I'm kind of like you. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I think it'll be in the mid-40s. And I've got an inkling that this is a good spot to buy low on the Wolverines. I think Michigan might keep it close and might even pull out the victory.
We thought it was going to be tough for Michigan this year. You lose, the national championship hangover, their first lone championship since the 40s. They split one, back, since then. But, I mean, a record number of players drafted, losing their head coach and key assistants as well. But this line is switched. So early lines were posted, much as 14-point adjustment already. I'm not ready to give up on Michigan just yet as far as being competitive at home against an unknown commodity at this point. One that we do agree on. We think the Michigan State Spartans at 3-0. Battle of 3-0 teams here. Boston College 3-0 against the spread as well. We liked how Michigan State was down 7 at 2 separate times in College Park against the Maryland Terrapins. They overcame minus 3 turnover in a turnover battle, and they had over 145 yards. They showed that they can throw the ball a little bit. Castellanos at Missouri, he can make plays, but he can make some mistakes as well. So I think Michigan State is game in this one, plus the 7.5.
Yeah, I'm with you here. I mean, Michigan State off to a 3-0 start. And after this game, and Boston College is a game opponent without question, but after this game, Michigan State's schedule really gets tough. So they really need this one. They really need a 4-0 start to gain bowl eligibility once again, which would be quite the accomplishment for first-year head coach Jonathan Smith, considering all the turnover on the roster and what he inherited. I think Aiden Childs, Michigan State's quarterback, he's a true sophomore, followed Smith from Oregon State, only saw mop-up duty really last year for the Beavers, so he still hadn't played a whole lot of football. My point being, I think he's going to continue to get better. Boston College only 6-14 against the spread its last 20 as a favorite. So I like those Michigan State Spartans plus the points.
Yeah, we both like Michigan State right there. How about this? Boy, Eastern Michigan had a wild one last week. I mean, a crazy one against Jacksonville State and a crazy line move late as well. They went from from minus 2.5 to plus 3. At kickoff, and they improved to 3-0 against the spread. 2-1 straight up, 3-0 against the spread. Maybe leave a little emotion on the field in that wild game against Jacksonville State that went overtimes as they're inflated 23.5, 42.5 against St. Francis.
Yeah, difficult to know what to do when you're talking about an FCS team going up against a MAC team, and the MAC team, Eastern Michigan in this case, laying 23.5 points. So it's a difficult handicap. So it's a pass for me, but this is if they win here and go 3-1, the Eagles have a trip to Kent State on deck next week, so they could get to 4-1. So that would really put them in position for another bowl appearance if they do indeed take care of business the next 2 weeks. One thing I'm going to be watching with Eastern Michigan, their quarterback Cole Snyder, who spent much of his career at Buffalo, now has 28 career starts. He's thrown for 643 yards in the first 3 games, 64%, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. So he's been very efficient. But in their last 2 games, he's been sacked a total of 12 times. So Eastern Michigan, something to watch there. They need to protect Cole Snyder a little bit, not only for positive plays, but to keep him on the field. So be interesting to see what Eastern Michigan does these next couple of weeks.
And another conference matchup, Central Michigan at 1-2 overall, 1-1-1 against the spread. Ball State 1-1 and 1-1 against the spread. They didn't play in the opening week. This line has come under the magic number of 7. It was 7.5, now 6.5, 53 at Bet River. So I watched Central Michigan against Illinois. They were not embarrassed by any stretch. I think I like how it's dropped under the 7 at home. Give me Central Michigan minus the 6.5 there.
Yeah, I'm going to pass on this one. Central Michigan, they rely heavily on their running game. One thing to watch is their running back, Marion Lukes, who last year had 737 yards. He's been a little bit banged up, but they've had a backup come in, Miles Bailey, through the first 3 games of the season. He's averaged 7.4 yards per carry on 23 carries. So, Central Michigan, big game. Again, these teams at this point in the year, certainly entertaining bowl hopes. I don't think Central Michigan's a threat to win the MAC, but certainly could get a bowl bid this year. They need this victory over Ball State on Saturday to put themselves in position for that.
All right, looking at the Michigan teams. For Paul Stone, I'm Jimmy Ott on the Sports Bettor's Paradise on the Bet Rivers Network.